In 2023, the state of Utah banned gender-affirming care for transgender youth. Now, they claimed that, well, we had to do it to protect the kids. Here we go. And also, we had to wait for a study to come out, you see? We had to find out. We had to do a study to find out the science and the impacts of this treatment on transgender youth. We just don't know the effects. It's so new. We're going to have to study it more, to protect the children. Okay, well, that study, by the way, is now out. That's right. After 2.5 years, a study on the effects of gender-affirming care for transgender youth is now out. And what did it find out? Well, you're not going to be shocked to find out that gender-affirming care for transgender youth is good. I know, right? But yeah, I know you might be surprised, though, that it's coming from Utah health professionals. That's right. Utah healthcare experts have concluded in their over 1,000-page report that gender-affirming care is a positive thing. Overall, they write, there were positive mental health and psychosocial functioning outcomes as a result of allowing youth to access gender-affirming care. No shit. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to be surprised Pikachu face on this one. Duh. We know that. That's what doctors and medical organizations have been saying all along. Look, all of the studies that have come out, almost all of the studies that have come out show that, yes, gender-affirming care for transgender youth leads to good outcomes. So now, look, this is Utah. And again, you might be surprised that it is Utah, which, again, their government has already banned this care. But, you see these health professionals coming out with this report that says, actually, no, you should not ban this at all. And now, as a result, how do Republicans in Utah, how are they viewing this report? How are they responding to this? Well, once again, you're not going to be surprised, Pikachu face, that they're against this report. Of course. Representative Katie Hall, a House sponsor of the 2023 ban, and Representative Bridger Bollender, who chairs the legislature's Health and Human Services Interim Committee, put out a joint statement saying young kids and teenagers should not be making life-altering medical decisions based on weak evidence. Weak evidence. Utah was right to lead on this issue, they continue, and the public agrees. Polls show a clear majority support both statewide and nationally. You're basing this on polls, right? Polls that a lot of cisgender people do not understand the realities of transgender issues, okay? They don't. A lot of them are propagandized by right-wing outlets to be against transgender, gender-affirming care, especially when it comes to the youth. And so, they also added, simply put, the science isn't there. The risks are real, and the public is with us. We intend to keep the moratorium in place. But wait a minute, you just argued that the science isn't there, but you directly contradicted your own 2.5-year study on this issue, which says actually the science confirms that gender-affirming care is actually a good thing and we should be doing it. Of course. Now, the review prepared for lawmakers did acknowledge an increase in some specific types of benign brain tumors, but also it also found, though, in studies that included thousands of transgender individuals, that the increase in mortality was consistently due to an increase in suicide, non-natural causes, and HIV/AIDS. Patients that were seen at the gender clinic before the age of 18, though, had a lower risk of suicide compared to those referred as an adult. So, yeah, saves lives. That said, Utah Senate President Stuart Adams told the Tribune that the future and safety of kids are paramount. And so, Does that mean that he supports the gender affirming care? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Look, gender affirming care protects children, and yet all these people are against it. And it shows you that they would rather have dead children than trans children. Period. Now, the DHHS not only recommended reversing that ban, but also asked to create a hormonal transgender treatment board that would provide care guidelines, limit providers delivering care to demonstrated experts, and require that treatment be overseen by an interdisciplinary team of physicians and mental health professionals, and to implement an explicit informed consent process. Now, in compiling their report, DHHS, that's a mouthful, looked at all the data. They even looked at the CAS review. Uh-oh. Now, last June, conservative groups, the Manhattan Institute and Do No Harm, which actually does a lot of harm, they aim to counteract divisive trends in medicine, such as DEI, and inclusion, and a youth-focused gender ideology, joined state officials in Utah to discuss the CAS review at a Health and Human Services Interim Committee meeting chaired by Kennedy. According to DHHS, the Drug Regimen Review Center analyzed that report before reaching their conclusions. So they even looked at the CAS report or CAS review and was like, "No, this is flaming hot garbage." Okay, look, when you review it, and a lot of people have, you would find that the CAS review is extremely biased against transgender individuals. They consistently misrepresented existing research. They presented contradictory evidence against this, treatment, and excluded the experiences of transgender individuals. How can you do a report on transgender stuff without talking to transgender people? How do you do that? Well, if you're in the UK and on freaking Turf Island, you're able to get away with that, of course. So, yes, it's not surprising to me that actual doctors and health professionals left out the CAS review. Okay. Yes, because it's flaming hot garbage. Now, Utah's report also follows one by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Now, that report, well, that report was not good. It basically was put out to comply with a Trump executive order, which began the process of implementing nationwide restrictions on gender-affirming care. Just like the CAS review, the federal report departed from guidelines widely used by healthcare providers and the opinions of the vast majority of medical associations, including the American Medical Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and asserting that there are significant risks to gender transition. It instead encouraged conversion therapy. Yes, which is basically torture, and has even been banned in Utah. Look, at the end of the day, the sad fact, though, is that the Utah report will move no one, because it is not about the evidence. It's not even about the well-being of children, which, again, it should be obvious based on these Republicans poo-pooing on this report, okay? No, what it is about the stated goal of the right, okay, which is to eliminate transgender people. I mean, they've openly admitted it. We want to get rid of transgender people. Well, we want to destroy transgenderism, which means eliminating transgender people. A few more dead kids isn't going to matter to them, because that's what they're doing. When they ban gender-affirming care for transgender youth while promoting transphobia, claiming that, trans people are all groomers and pedophiles, you end up with more dead children. That's it. That's a reality. But for the right wing, that is a win. Because the Republican Party, at the end of the day, is nothing more than a death cult. They sacrifice the poor to feed the rich. They sacrifice LGBTQ people at the altar of their religion and their own hatreds. Their policies do not lead to freedom. Their policies lead to more death, more bombs, more police brutality, and more dead kids, whether it be from right-wing inspired mass shootings who get their guns thanks to loose gun laws, or increased suicides because of anti-trans bigoted laws. At the end of the day, it is very, very clear, okay, the results. Republicans believe in either death or slavery for everyone who is not a straight, white, Christian male. That is the sad fact. That is the reality. That is what Republican policies lead to. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.